hot start to the show tonight. What's up, guys? Open Championship week is officially over. Sad days, man. No more majors for 9 more months. Is it football season yet? I'm about done. The 3M Open just not going to do it for me this week after what was a great major weekend for the Open Championship. Welcome to the Scratch Golf Show live edition. We're live on Twitter and X every Tuesday around this time. We do our Takesman Twitter space with all the fellas and gals from 7 to 8. If you're new here to the Scratch Golf Show, make sure you share the stream if you can. Join us every Tuesday on the Takesman from 7 to 8. Every Tuesday for some hot golf takes with a bunch of D-list celebrities, including yours truly. My name's Marco. If you're new here, we go live every Tuesday right after that in order to talk All right. Let me know if that's okay. Let me know if that's better, Swale. I don't know why it's echoing, man. Sorry, I'm trying. Anyway, if it's bad, let me know. We'll try and get it fixed. Otherwise, we're just going to have to roll with it tonight, man. Unfortunately. I was having some audio issues earlier this afternoon. Anyway, like I said, if you're new here, welcome. We just dropped a new video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Did a burner mini. Bought a mini driver a couple months ago. Make sure you check it out on the YouTube here. Follow me on Instagram and X here. Our sub goal. We're doing great on subscribers. 215 loyal people are subscribed to the channel. We started in April. That's a great goal. We would like to get to 500 by Labor Day. I know it's a big goal, but 500 is partnership status, which is what I'm going for, so I can maybe make a cent or two from YouTube just to feel accomplished, you know. Anyway, guys, Open Championship. 9 months until the Masters. Sad days. Xander Schauffele took it down with really a definitive. People talk about. Thanks, Will. People talk about his 65, and that was a great round. Don't get me wrong, but I more want to talk about the Sunday 69 or the Saturday 69. Excuse me. Those conditions Saturday were miserable. You heard Dustin Johnson say. That was some of the hardest golf he had ever played. I think most of the guys had said that was some of the hardest 9 holes that they had ever played in their life. And you could see it, man. I mean, in the morning, those guys in 17, I think Siwoo Kim aced 17 with the 4-iron. And on the last group, they're hitting drivers. And you saw Scotty Scheffler's 3-wood that he hit to 3 feet and made birdie there. I mean, that back nine was playing brutal. Those holes are playing 500 yards in a cold, chilled atmosphere, rain pouring down on you the whole time. You saw Shane Lowry get super frustrated on Saturday. X-Man, very underrated round. 69, kind of just grinded it out that day, similar to Billy Horschel. I think Billy Horschel stole the show on Saturday, kind of really getting up and down on that back nine, but X's Saturday round, I think, was arguably his best round of the weekend. Feels like the floodgates open for him now, right? I mean, it feels like he's got number 2. He was always the kind of guy of is he going to get the monkey off his back, similar to the Ricky Fowlers, right, or the Cantlays now, the guys who can't get a major and are at 30, and now here we are 8 weeks later, and he's got his second one, two legs of the career Grand Slam done. Good for X, man. I mean, he's a killer, man. If you look at it, and I thought one of his wild stats, I saw somebody posted his Wikipedia page earlier, but he missed the cut, and I want to say the 2022 Masters. I may be wrong there, and then from there. He has 11 straight top 20s in majors. That's going back 3 straight major seasons. This man is just a consistent machine. We argue that Scott, I've seen this take that Bryson DeChambeau has had the best major season. Obviously, that's no longer valid with X taking down 2. But we've looked at Scotty as kind of the best player over the last 2 to 3 years in the majors. But you look at X, man, it's hard to argue now. Kind of, they're both at 2. X has 2 legs of the Grand Slam now. You feel like he's going to get the Masters at some point. He always plays at Augusta, and his game really fits the U.S. Open. It's going to be cool to see him kind of go on a run here in his early 30s, still in the prime of his career. And so you love to see that for him. Now the real question is who gets Player of the Year this year, Scotty or X. We'll save that conversation for a different day when we're bored, when we don't have a ton to talk about. But I mean, some other storylines the weekend. Scotty Scheffler, T7, going into contention on Saturday and Sunday. Shot even par on Saturday in those really hard conditions, which was still a solid round. But I mean, Sunday, just the 3-putt double on 9 kind of just derailed his entire Sunday. I was listening to the Fried Egg guys talk about Scotty. I don't know if his putting only puts well on certain types of greens, but I mean, you saw he was one of dead last in putting, and obviously, yeah, like the guy could cool off. I mean, he's been on an insane run over, really dating back to March with the Players and kind of taking down all those wins early. But when the formula is kind of out on Scotty, he's gonna ball strike the crap out of it. He's gonna hit a ton of greens. He's gonna beat the shit out of the fairway. He's gonna hit great wedges, and he misses a green, he's probably gonna get up and down. It's if he putts good, he wins. He runs away and hides. He just continues to hit good shots. He's obviously the best ball striker on tour. But right now, the argument is who's the best overall player, and I feel like you got to give that to Xander Schauffele because he really does not have a weak part in his game, which is why he plays so well in majors, right? And I think that's why he maybe hasn't racked up as many tour wins as he would have liked. But 2 majors, T2 at the Players, tie at Quail Hollow, second place at Quail Hollow. Xander had a really sneaky, really good season. It's good to see him finally take that next step in his career. Now the question is, how many majors does and I posed this tweet out, and somebody, I kept talking about, and I kept seeing this tweet of who should win Player of the Year this year, and it's like, I don't know if that's a conversation we should necessarily be having. These guys are both killers. I think arguably they're going to be, them, Bryson, are going to be the top American golfers. That's kind of how it stacks up right now over the next 3 to 5 years. It's who's going to end with more majors. They're both at 2. Scotty, obviously 2 Masters. Xander, a PGA and a British Open. Comment in the chat if you who you think ends up with more majors. I think it's a great question. I think Scotty's going to continue to rack them up. I think you could pencil in Scotty for, I would say, at least 5 or 6 right now. Obviously, golf's a fickle game. It can go as fast as it comes in. But, I mean, you just continue. You think he gets at least 1 or 2 more Masters. I mean, he's going to play there until he dies, basically, right? I mean, he's exempt for life there. So, not that Xander won't play every Masters, but as a past champion, Scotty has life status. So, you got to think he racks up at least a couple Masters. You think he wins the U.S. Open at some point, given how good of a ball striker he is. And you got to think he gets a PGA at some point as well, depending on the course setup. It's the British Open that I don't think Scotty, I mean, he hasn't played super great in the British Open, or the Open Championship, excuse me, if we have any people who are offended by that. But, yeah, anyway, I think that's a great question. So let me know what you guys think about that. I think, they're similar in age. Scotty 28, Xander 30, both 2 majors. I think we could see him go on a really good run here. I mean, it feels like he got the cat out of the bag. I mean, he went and got that thing on Sunday. That back 9, and for those who didn't see it, he shot a bogey-free 65 on Sunday. Kind of really just went out and took that thing from the guys who were surging on the back 9. But, I mean, he birdied, I don't know, I got to look up his exact scorecard, but I know for the day, 5 of the first 6 holes, or 4 of the first 5 holes, were playing the 4 hardest holes of the day. I know he birdied 13, which was playing a hard hole. He was birdied 14. I don't know if he birdied 10 or 11. I can't remember. But regardless, that back 9 was playing difficult. Went out in 31, bogey-free. And this was another great stat, which I thought was super interesting. My man's longest par putt of that day was 2 feet 10 inches. Even for us hacks, right? We're going to make most of those. He's never missing those. Anything inside 3 feet. 99%, probably 100%. He never was stressing, right? He was never stressed out that day. He just went out in really difficult conditions, went out and took that thing, and now I think he can really kind of go on a run. Now he's found a confidence. He's got the monkey off his back. He's got number 2. I mean, how many does Xander end up with now? Would you say 5? Would you confidently say 5? Let's set the over-under at 5.5 for Xander. Let me know if you think he hits the over or the under. And let's say the same for Scotty, 5.5. Where do you guys think those guys end up at the end of their career in majors? Whew. Anyway, what else? Some good storylines. The course I thought showed out great. Love Royal Troon. Love the British Open. I saw on golf Twitter this weekend a lot of people were complaining about the draw. It seems like that golf just found a bunch of new fans because as far as I'm concerned, I've woken up at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. or if you saw me over on Instagram, I woke up at 3 a.m. and was watching golf Thursday, Friday. that the draw's been around forever. This is always a tournament that's draw reliant. Like, I didn't know we had a bunch of Justine Reeds who want people to play shotgun format at the British Open. That's just how it is, and you just got to play the best of it. You know who got a terrible draw? Justin Rose. He went out and T2'd. He went through qualifying. Justin Rose, 43-year-old major champion, Olympic gold medalist, went through open qualifying, got in second place. He didn't complain about it. He had the best of the draw. I saw Shane Lowry kind of complain about the course, and we could talk about Shane Lowry here in a minute, but he kind of went off and bitched about the course setup. It's like, dude, what do you want the RNA to do? They can't predict the weather, and even if they can, they're not gonna. What do you want them to do? Move the tees up, halfway through the round? Like, I don't get it. I don't, and I understand people may not like it. They may not like the tournament because it's decided by weather. It's not always decided by weather. Sometimes you just get good weather. They're rarely, but it's always kind of a tournament. You feel like you either get the good or the bad end of the draw. But it's not like that's new. It's been around forever. This tournament's one of the I think the oldest tournament around, if not one of the oldest. Guys, that's not old. That's old news. Like, I get if you don't like it, but at the end of the day, why are we arguing about it? Why are people bitching about it? Like, this isn't a new thing. There's always been the luck of the draw for the British Open. Shane Lowry, right? I don't know, man. I like Shane Lowry. I've always seen him as kind of happy-go-lucky guy, but unfortunately, just some tirades this weekend, and not just tirades, right? You get Tyrrell Hatton You get Tyrrell Hatton who throws his temper tantrums, which is fine, right? I want to see these guys be the authentic selves, even if they're whining and complaining sometimes. But Shane Lowry kind of got into it with some fans this week, and it was kind of weird. I get he's intense. He wants to win the Open, but he's kind of a dick, in my opinion. We talked about it in Take Some Space, but I just he bitched at someone for kicking his ball. It's like, don't top it, for one. Like, you're a pro, and two, like, they're moving. Like, what do you want them to do? Stop moving 100 yards ahead of you when you're like, and it saved him from going in the gorse bush. So I don't get why he was upset by that. Like I said, he complained about the course setup. Ended up coming back on Sunday. He had the worst of it on Saturday. Shot 77, respectable. I think he shot 68 on Sunday. So good for him. He's somebody who has always loved that tournament. Obviously, it's going back to Portrush next year where he won his Open Championship. But I just thought he was just a bit too much for me this week. And like I said, I don't mind when guys get pissed off, especially, the emotional people. I'm Italian, I'm Mexican, I like to get emotional on the golf course too. But when it's at the fans, it just feels like it's different, right? Zach Johnson did it at Augusta, right? When he flipped him the bird and told him to, F off basically at Augusta. But, he's still alive? Sorry, I don't know. My computer kind of showed up. Anyway, so yeah, guys, it was a good weekend though. Overall, I thought that the course showed out. The postage stamp, great hole. We talked about it. I love that hole. 120-yard par 3, 100-yard par 3 that's playing into the wind Sunday. These guys are hitting pitching wedges 9 irons from 100 yards. Most guys are just trying to hit, get up and rip a fucking 60 or a 56, spin it in one of those bunkers. I mean, we saw Neiman make an 8. Multiple guys made big numbers in that hole. What a great hole that was. The Railway hole showed out. I thought, a lot of the course was there's going to be such high scores. These guys are going to overpower this place because last time when it was here, Mickelson and Stenson was 20 and 17 under. But what people don't realize is the third place was 6 under. Those guys just had their best week of their career. The winning score being 9 under, I was actually shocked. I figured 6 would win it. And we had 2 guys, I think, at 7. And Xander, obviously, at 9. But I thought the course showed out great. I'm obviously anti-rollback if you follow me on Twitter. Not a huge proponent of that. I know that, we can't play every tournament links golf in these conditions. But, it just kind of shows that wind and good bunkering, like good course design, can help, the issue with the ball going too far, which I don't get why people don't want the ball to go far. Regardless, the course showed out. I love Troon, one of my favorite in the Rota. Would love to see some other courses added back into the Rota, but links golf's awesome. I definitely want to get over there and play sometime if I ever get the opportunity to go play some links golf over there. But the course showed out. What are some other storylines? Tiger. Time to go, man. Not that he should retire. But, it's sad to see kind of what he's doing. He doesn't have enough competitive rounds under his belt. The U.S. Junior Ams here in Michigan this week at Oakland Hills. A picture was circulating around of his leg. It looks kind of gross. It looks like he lost a ton of calf muscle. So it's hard, I can imagine, to really push off that muscle. I think it's his back leg too, which is a leg that he's gonna push off onto to start his weight transfer. So, be interesting to see. Rory, I think, was the biggest, I think, talking point. If you followed me, I told you to take Rory, but I mean, what the hell? Plus whatever, plus 12, plus 13, plus who gives a fuck? Guy missed the cut. Swail, if you're still in here, I know he's your guy. I mean, I had him winning. I really thought he was going to bounce back. I really, really thought he was just going to kind of figure out. And in fact, he did the opposite. He just, I mean, he mailed it in, right? He mailed it in. He had shown, on his press conference that I don't know what hole he made a triple or something. He just quit, and I don't get it. I mean, I saw people were frying him for saying it. I mean, I get it. The guy, he's plus 12. I mean, you can only grind so hard. You can't make a million birdies out there, right? So I get why he kind of mailed it in, but another season, another major list season for Rory, man. You got to wonder when he gets his next one. It's going to feel like his first. I mean, it's been 10 years since he won a major, which is wild. As somebody of his caliber, who, his talent, hasn't won a major in 10 years. He's won everything under the sun since then. The players, high-profile events, Arnold Palmer, whatever. The Scottish Open. But can't get the big one. You think if it goes to Portrush next year, I mean, famously, last time we went to Portrush, he shot, 79 or whatever in the first round. Just nervous as all hell. You got to wonder if he ever gets another one. I mean, but you never know. You never know. We could very well see Rory rattle off two. I mean, right? Xander did it. If Rory gets one, he's obviously going to get confident. He could rattle off one more. I mean, he did it in 2014. Why can't he win two consecutive majors or two majors in a season if he gets, once he gets the monkey off his back? So it'd be interesting, interesting talking points. But what a abysmal performance. Overall, another one, JT, I mean, 68, 77, 60, or 78, 68, 77 or whatever. Shot 45 in the front, made the cut at plus 4, 45, 33. Sounds like me, except I'm usually 33, 45. I mean, what the hell, man? That guy is, I really, really thought he was going to have a chance, especially after shooting 68, putting a low one together on Sunday and just went the complete other way. If you saw his tee shot, it went way right on number one, made triple. And just, never got it going. Jon Rahm, good week. Loki, sneaky top 10. Finally good to see him play well in the major this year. DJ played well. Brooks made the cut. A lot of the live guys didn't really play well this week, other than Rahm. And, for Rahm, I know he's going to view this major season, I would imagine, as a disappointment. Played in 3 of 4. Really only contended in 1. I would say he really didn't contend on, at the British. He just kind of played well on the weekend and was just kind of there. He definitely grinded it out, but ultimately, he just top 10. I think he finished at 1 under. What else? 3M Open this week. If you didn't see Monday Q's story, Ryan wrote a story about Wesley Bryan, who you guys know if you're new here. If you're not new here, Wesley Bryan came on the channel, did an interview with us. Make sure you check out Ryan French's article, Monday Q Info. Great content for Ryan, and like I said, we also featured Wesley. Mark Carnevale died. That was sad, man. I like Carney. He was a good radio guy. R.I.P., man. Well wishes. I don't know if it was sudden. I didn't really see what happened, but got a lot of love from the guys on Twitter this weekend. So, unfortunately, 64, which is sad. That's not that old. My dad is, I think, 60. So, just to think about that is terrible. Like I said, if you're new, we just popped in. Check out our Linktree. We just posted our new video reviewing the Mini Driver, which is actually over my shoulder over here. About an 8-minute video. If you thought about buying a Mini Driver, make sure you check it out. Went over why I use the club, what I'm using the club for, and all the good stuff. That might be it, guys. It's going to be a short show tonight. I've had a long day. I'm tired. The live shows are going to be maybe a little bit more sporadic over the next couple months. We got a ton of good content coming from the content perspective. I'm trying to get on more of a schedule, guys. I know I'm super busy right now, unfortunately. So I'm just kind of uploading randomly. But regardless, we we've got some good guests coming up. We've got our next interview recording tomorrow, hopefully. If you didn't check out our interview with Yip Strickler, make sure you do that. Yip Strickler last week, the handicap police. What else? We got hopefully Monday Q coming on next week. So Ryan, if you're in here, I'm holding you to that. If you come on next week, and we've got a ton of good content videos coming up, kind of lined up through the end of August, guys. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got some good content coming. Follow us on the socials here. Follow me on TikTok. I'm new on TikTok. But otherwise, guys, that's gonna wrap up the stream tonight. I really appreciate you for jumping in. Short show tonight. I'll let you know if I'm gonna go live next Tuesday. Otherwise, have a good night, guys. Have a good weekend. Make sure you check out the new video. Subscribe to the channel. Like I said, follow us on all socials. Hope you guys have a good night. Thank you.